Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, we are making a homemade harissa. Harissa is it's a delicious, very delicious, when you have a good one, North African, like spicy hot sauce, if you will. I was actually first introduced to this when I went to Italy for the first time back after a decade in like 2010 or something like that. When you go to a lot of pubs and restaurants in Italy, they serve harissa with lots of different things. I guess it's sort of like how we would serve hot sauce. My brother mixes harissa with mayo and dips his french fries in it. I thought he was insane, but I was very intrigued because everybody there eats it. So I tried it, fell in love. However, buying harissa, at least here in the US, or at least where I can get it from, even if I order it online, it's never really good. So I thought to myself, I'm gonna make a homemade version. So after doing lots of research, I came up with my own recipe and it is so good. It's dynamite, okay? You can keep it on hand to do just about everything in, like roast vegetables, put it on fish, which I'll show you in a specific future recipe coming very, very soon. Literally, it's good for a multitude of things. Use it just the way you would use like a chili sauce or a hot sauce, right? Let's work on the chilies first because I got to get these going. What I have here are some guajillo chilies, which are very mild. Ancho chilies, these are all obviously dried. And I've got some arbol, chile de arbol. These are spicy, so I'm only using 2, but I'm not de-seeding them. So they're going to bring a lot of heat. And all together, along with a roasted bell pepper, is going to be the base that's going to make your chili sauce. Okay, first things first. I'm a realist. I haven't done that in a long time. You need to depot these and you need to basically take out their seeds. I'm going to show you with a smaller one. They come very dry and they're kind of hard. I tend to just break them apart like that. And then you have to open them up. And you want to get rid of all those seeds and any ribs or anything. And then you're going to give them a really good rinse. If they break up, please don't throw the piece of chili away. It just sometimes they come really, really dry, and then sometimes they're more pliable. It also depends on the kind of chili that you're getting. Like these ancho ones, they're a little drier, but like let me show you the guajillos, which are much more pliable and easy to work with. I'll show you this one. These are much more pliable. See, I can essentially, and I order mine online because I try to get the best that I can. And I also can't typically find them in my regular grocery store. And you just take out the seeds and any veins. And now I'm going to do the rest of them. And then I'm going to give them a really good rinse and wash my arbol as well. Chilies are cleaned, washed, rinsed. I've got a pot here with boiling water. I'm going to add the chilies in. You have to rehydrate them. They need to reconstitute. So add them in, all of them, including the arbol that we left whole. And I'm just going to turn the heat off and I'm going to let them sit in there for about 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes. Turn it off, let it sit. I'll get everything else out, which is really not much. You'll need some spices, you need cumin and coriander. I prefer whole cumin and whole coriander seeds. I ran out, but I always have dry, which is wonderful and more easily available if you live in the middle of nowhere like I do. I'm going to peel my red pepper. I'm going to grab garlic, lemon, olive oil, plenty of salt, and my food processor, and some tomato paste. So I'm going to do all that, and let me move on. Chilies are still steeping. They're just about done. Let's move on to everything else. I'm going to take my ground spices. Even though they're ground, I still want to bloom their flavor because they're not really going to touch any heat. So I'm going to go ahead and add them to a skillet, and I'm just going to basically toast them until they become really, really fragrant. I would be doing the exact same thing if I was working with whole spices, and then I would grab my mortar and pestle and I would just grind them until they were pulverized. But since I'm using ground, I was trying to be very slick to grab my spatula, but I can't see down there. I want to do the same thing to this because I want, like I said, I want the flavors to really be bloomed and wonderful, and the oils and the spices will just, oh, they already smell incredible. Incredible. When I make homemade harissa, I always like to make an extra batch to bring to my Aunt Marie. My Aunt Marie is a vegetable fanatic. She also loves all kinds of different cooking, like ethnic cooking. I mean, you name it, she loves it. She loves harissa. She says she puts it in an ice cube tray, and then anytime she wants a little bit of heat here and there, she'll add it to soups and vegetables. She primarily eats a lot of vegetables, soups, things like that, grains, and she says it makes everything better. So I'm gonna save some of this for her, so don't you worry. Anyway, to a food processor, I'm going to add the peppers. I also have the tomato paste in there because I didn't want to get another container dirty. Remember, that was 1 roasted pepper that I peeled. And I'm going to smash 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to add them in, and I'm going to start getting that going. While that's going, I am going to drain my steeped chilies. I'm going to just set them aside until I am ready to add them to this. But this is a really easy recipe, and once you make it once, you'll understand why buying it store-bought is just... It's not good. It's just not good compared to this. Okay, let it go. Already smells so good, and we didn't really do much. Okay, now take your spices. Now that they've bloomed, they smell sensational. I'm making my mouth water. So good. So good. Okay. I'm gonna move this closer. You wanna make sure that you drain your chilies really well because you don't want all that water. And I kind of just take my tongs and I just sort of squeeze. And there's gonna be some seeds in there, but that's all good. Add them in along with a couple tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. I just squeeze it through my fingers to catch any of the seeds. I'm just gonna do a half of a lemon for now because this is real juicy. Real juicy. And a really good pinch of salt. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Grinding of black pepper. And then as this is going, I'm going to stream in about a half a cup of olive oil. Not extra virgin, regular olive oil. So let this, and then I stream. Oh yeah, that color is phenomenal. I can smell the spices, I can smell the chilies, I can smell everything. And when you make it from scratch, which by the way, I am not telling you to make every condiment from scratch. I tasted this for seasoning and it's perfect. Doesn't need any more lemon, doesn't need any more salt. I am not asking you to make every condiment from scratch. If you want to, more power to you. Also just realize this bowl is a little bit small, but it's okay. I'll put the rest in a bigger bowl. This, however, is so worth making from scratch. Just pretend it's not there. This is so worth making from scratch. It is divine. It's much more to me than a condiment. It is, I could eat that with a chip. It is delicious. It hits all the right notes. Cover this, pop it in the fridge for a while before you use it. You want those flavors to really come together. It is dynamite. You will love it. Go to LarryInTheKitchen.com for the written recipe. I would love for you to give this a try. Add it to anything and everything from mayo to wraps to dipping your french fries in it to fish to veggies to roast, everything. Hope you enjoy spending time with me and I'll see you in the next one.